Doma Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of sport. So y'all check this out. Now y'all, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't been living under a rock, right? We had something going down at the tennis tournament, the new Russian Open. Now I'm gonna be real with y'all. The US Open, right? The fourth of the Grand Slams, right? The last Grand Slam of the year. It's going pretty well so far. I haven't watched everything. Of course, we're in the second round right now. It's going to heat up. It's going to heat up. My man Alcaraz got his new haircut, and he's ready to go. He's probably the favorite with Sinner, too. Those are probably the favorites on the men's side, right? Osaka's probably favorite. She's in good form right now on the women's side. And Sabalenka, definitely, too. Anyway, but, we had an incident yesterday. And, when you're in New Russia, people are, really seeing these things and acting up. So you had a match against Yelena Ostapenko and Taylor Townsend. And Taylor Townsend won the fight, won the match, actually, 7-6-6-1. Townsend is like number one in doubles. She's good at the net, right? These girls are, I'm not just going to mention, but both kind of heavy set, and which you don't see so much on the women's tour. But Townsend, if somebody would ask me before the match who would win in a singles match, I would say Ostapenko. Now I've talked about Ostapenko like 4 or 5 years ago, right? It was one of the I think she was in top 5 at the time. She's playing real good tennis. I think she's taking a break for a baby break and coming back on the tour. Now, what has happened is 2 ways to look at what's happened. It looks like we have a racist incident. At the end of the match, everybody knows whether you're into tennis or not. You go up, you shake hands, and you're cordial and everything. And win or lose, you shake hands and you get it out. You keep it moving. After this match, there was an altercation. And the altercation, Yelena Ostapenko, she's told Townsend, "Hey, you're not educated." And something else she said too. You're not educated, and something else. It's not hitting me right now, but it went to it kind of got into a little racist rant, and you guys need to read up on it. But at the end of the day, Ostapenko was a little bit upset for losing, of course, and to tell a lady you're not educated is not a good look, right? Now, we're living in a time of where racism right now is overt. We're living in the age of Trump, and that's why, New Russia's the way it is, because it was kind of dormant. People are going to be racist, the same type of people all the time. It's just them, really. If you took them away from any place, racism would be down to almost a minimum. But it's just them. Overt race is always having something against other people, right? For some reason, somebody must have told them that they're the superior race, and I don't know why. For what, right? But, okay, that's what they think. And so they always lashing out at other races. And so right now, that dormancy that it was living in, through Trump, it has become overt. And you could just go out and blurt it out. The people who attacked the Congress on January 6th, not only are they pardoned and not have to, be held accountable for what they've done, which was a terrorist act with Confederate flags, they are being rewarded with being able to be ICE agents, just covering their face and being able to harass people of color. That's what's going on in front of your face in daylight. So don't make sure that I know that. Anybody that comes here knows damn well that I know that. But I'm going to say this. Ostapenko was pissed off after the match, and she said you'll have no education, and she said something else too, but it's just not hitting me right now. But I'm just gonna say this, right? That could have been racist. It could have been racist because right now you can say what you want to, especially if someone of color and you're trying to tell somebody what to do. But the incident, what Ostapenko is talking about, a ball that Townsend hit and hit the net and fell into play, right? Now in tennis, anybody that watches, because I didn't never like this over the years of watching tennis, you always excuse yourself. If the ball hits the net and goes on the other side, you know, it's like you excuse yourself. Now, that's just tennis etiquette. That's most of, I mean, like, I'm going to go as far as to say 80 to 90% of the players most of the time say sorry about that, right? It's just something you do. Now, what I'm hearing is that Townsend didn't say sorry. And that's what Ostapenko was wrong. You should supposed to say sorry about that. You don't, basically you don't have your tennis etiquette on. You need to get your education, right? No, you don't have no education or you don't have any class. Those are the things that she said. Now, we're not going to give her any excuses. But here's the thing. It's not her native language, English, right? It's not her native language. And damn, you're supposed to say sorry. Most of the people say sorry. So I'm going to give Ostapenko not a pass, but damn near a pass. At least I'm going to have some understanding to why. Right after the match, when you're pissed off about something, I don't know if she would have said that if Townsend, our girl Taylor Townsend, if she wasn't black, would she have said that? That's the only question. And she probably would have, because Ostapenko has a temper on her, right? So she probably would have. So what we're going to do on this one, we're going to say it's not a good look. They should have probably talked about that later. But it's not a good look in New Russian at the New Russian Open where people are acting a damn fool on that continent, right? Acting a damn fool, right? So it's going to look bad because she's saying it to a sister, right? And she's upset and she used the words, you have no education, right? And when you're using stuff like that, then it's going to sound right. It's going to become, it's not going to sit well, right? But I'm going to go 50-50 on this. It could have been a racist look, but it could also be the fact that it's not her native language. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty sure, I hope they talked about it and kind of iron this out. But like I'm saying, it could have been. So, people need to educate Ostapenko on what she's trying to say out here in public, right, like that. Because it's definitely not a good look when you're saying, telling the sister that she's not educated and stuff like that. That's not so cool. So that's what's happening at the U.S. Open. That's the biggest news of the Open right now. So let's see going forward. And listen, enjoy the U.S. Open, man. That's what they're playing on hard courts. That's some good tennis is played on hard courts. So y'all check it out. Doma Sports Talk Worldwide. And I'm out of here, y'all.